Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome everyone. And today's class, before we begin, like we do acknowledge the traditional owner of this country, we acknowledge and pay respect to the past, present, and future traditional custodians and elders of this nation, and the continuation of cultural, spiritual, and educational practices of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Once again, thank you everyone for joining today's class. A very warm welcome. And today's agenda is why planning is more important than the final product. So we will go through the rubric, and also we will have a couple of students who will be presenting their podcast planning. Now, it is very important that you understand the planning of your podcast is very, very important. Now, I'm going to stop this because I want to show you the other thing that I wanted to share. Um, that is, okay. Mhm. Girls, can you see the rubric on the screen? Can you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, teacher.
that's good. So, what I'm going to talk about is uh, you when you're preparing how to plan your topic, how to plan your podcast, the first thing you have to do, you have to choose the topic very carefully. Say, I'm choosing a topic which is not relevant to our class or our studies, it is absolutely irrelevant, then you're not going to get a very good marks. So the topic has to be original, then topic has to be interesting and highly relevant to audience. Like we had Sumaya, I think the other day, she was presenting to the class. She was planning and she planned her presentation on drinking water. First thing you do after you wake up. So and she supported it with scientific evidence why she is suggesting, why she is advising everyone to drink water. So if you think about it, it is relevant, it is for a health benefit. She has chosen the topic, and she was thinking how interestingly she could present her podcast. So I think that was a good topic. She could have thought about, I don't remember exactly what the topic she said, but it was important and interesting and relevant. So then it comes to the marks. That is, how much would you give to the person out of 5? So you will think about it. Now, girls, when you're giving feedback in the chat, you will say if our first speaker is Latifa, you will say, Latifa, you have chosen an interesting topic, very relevant, and or you know or highly relevant, but you have to write based on the criteria that's mentioned in our rubric. So, firstly, you will write about the topic, then you will wait and see if the person is talking about her research, because it's not really good if your podcast is based on your own personal opinion. We don't need to know that. What we need to know is what the research says. If your podcast is based on reliable sources, you know, that is what going to make your podcast more interesting, and your listeners will pay more attention once they know they're based on reliable sources. Now if you say, um, my source is Wikipedia, let me tell you, girls, Wikipedia is not a reliable source. On the contrary, I have also noticed someone was citing National Geography, their journal. Yes, that is a reliable source. If you are sourcing your information from Lancet, a very renowned journal, I would say, yes, that is a very reliable source. So it can be from the website, it can be from the books. You can also write that this particular book published in this year, and it is giving us this information. So, the third point, moving on, you have to plan. Okay, I'm planning to do 4 episodes on health and hygiene. So that is very relevant to all of us, health and hygiene. And if you break it up in 4 episodes, you're getting good points for that, because if it is, you're planning accordingly. Okay, first episode, this is what I'm going to talk about. Second episode, my topic will be this. So you will breaking it up, structure and plan. That will be 10 points. Your research and sources got 10 marks. Your structure has 10 marks. So then we will move on to creativity and engagement. Now, everyone wants to listen to something interesting. Now, if you have begin in a very flat voice, and if you do not have any hook, that is beginning with some sort of interesting question, or you can have some engaging quiz, or some interesting story to begin with, that is going to hook your listeners. And sometimes people tell stories as well, which is also makes it very interesting. Okay, so number 5 is the hook immediately captures audience attention. That has 5 marks. You have creativity and engagement. Someone can say, I'll have very soft music there, or I'm going to tell a story and I'm going to get attention of my listeners, by using different strategies. Then that will be uh, very good. Okay. um, any question before I move on? Because you girls are just listening silently. I would say, anyone's got any question at this stage? Very silent class. I'll wait, girls, for someone to ask question.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you, darling?
I'm good. Ma'am, there is no question. Actually, I don't have any question. You're explaining clearly. So if
Hmm.
other girls have any question, so
Okay.
they can ask.
So, thank you very much for letting me know that you understand what I'm saying, because I'm just unpacking the criteria what you will be marked on. Okay. So, creativity and engagement, that is very important. Opening introduction, extremely important. That's a strong hook you can use to immediately capture audience's attention. Your not audience, it's a listener's attention. Okay. And we also have content development. Now when you have research, when you have lots of information, what you do, you do not say it at once, you break it up. Okay. You sometimes say, okay, in episode 1, I'm going to talk about this particular point in my middle section of my podcast. So once you collect all the information, you have to structure, you have to decide which episode where you're going to discuss that particular point. Okay, so you, when you're planning, this is where the planning comes, because unless you plan ahead, it is not going to be very the structure, you won't have that structure that we would like to see in your podcast. Okay, uh, yes, Ileha, you have a very important point that if we need some special equipment to record our podcast, or with our phones, that's possible. With your phone, that is possible. Ilaha, first thing first, okay? First thing we have to see that we cover all the criteria you're seeing on the screen, because this is very, very important. Now, you structure your content accordingly. That first episode, I'm going to talk about this particular topic. Second episode, again, consider the research you have done and what other points you're going to make in your second episode. So in that way, you will break it up in 4 episodes, no more than 6 minutes. 6 minutes means 6 pages. People get bored if it's a very long podcast. One of my friends just sent me a 1 hour long podcast, but imagine, you need to have that 1 hour to listen to a podcast, unless it is extremely like covering a very, very important topic and in a very interesting manner. You wouldn't spend your 1 hour listening to a podcast. Therefore, my advice is start small, okay? No more than 6 minutes. And when you are ending your podcast, each episode, remember to make it really memorable. How do you make it memorable? That you tie in all the ideas that you communicated during the podcast, and then end it with something very interesting so that the listener is going to wait for the next episode. Okay, you can end with a brilliant question or some funny or interesting facts. So make sure that even you're planning to summarize and conclude your podcast in a very interesting manner. It is how you wrap up the podcast is also important. As important how you say hello and begin the podcast. Okay? How you make the introduction. Any question, girls? Okay, if we do not have any questions now, what I'm going to suggest is I'll ask Latifa. If Latifa is here, I'm going to invite Latifa to um, tell us about how you're, Latifa, how you're planning your podcast. Okay, Latifa?
Yes, teacher, I'm here. Thank you so much. Uh, Teacher, I want to share my screen.
You want to share screen?
Yes,
Okay, I'll make you co host so that I will stop sharing so that you can share. Okay, okay, I'll just. Roya, right? Roya.
yes, Roya.
Okay, girls, I want you, but Roya, while Roya is getting ready, I want you to write down the how you're going to give feedback to Roya.
Amida.
In the chat. Okay, remember, research is 10 point, topic selection is 5 points, okay? Then episode planning. Number 3 is how she is breaking up the episodes. It's also got 10 marks. It's very, very important, the structure. And that's what I would like to see in the chat, how you're giving the feedback. Now, creativity and engagement, I'm just, Latifa, give me 5 minutes, okay, before I give it to you, the microphone. So I'm just reiterating what I just said and what I have sent you this rubric so that you can give really good feedback to each other. Okay, opening intro is very important. How you're going to introduce yourself to your listeners, that has 5 marks. Okay, and then we go to the content development, middle section. Okay, content, how you're going to um, um, do we have a Roshan Durrani in class, girls? Do you know if there is a Roshan Durrani? I don't know. Okay, content development, that also has 5 marks. Conclusion has 5 marks. So you will be touching upon all these things. So you will be marked out of 50. So where did I miss it? Creativity, opening, intro, content development, conclusion, summary, and do you get it? 50 marks. Um, Topic, research. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop sharing now and over to you, Latifa. Okay, Roya. First student is Roya or Latifa.
Ma'am, before Roya gets start, so I have a question. When we give a mark for each section, shall we explain as well? So why we give 3 out of like 5 or
Yeah,
just
that is
we
very important that you give a reason. So say if say a topic, a student has chosen a topic which is very relevant. You say your topic is very relevant, meaningful, interesting. So I'm giving you 5 marks. And if you think you could think about it a bit more, selecting your topic. Maybe I'm going to, if you look at the criteria I have sent you, um,
right?
uh, it says, it breaks up where exactly it goes. Excellent means 5 marks. Topic is original, interesting, and highly relevant to audience. Okay, so that is 5 marks. If it is topic is okay, it is engaging, it is relevant, not that brilliant, then you give 4 marks. Topic is somewhat relevant but not engaging, you give 3 points. Topic unclear or not relevant, you give between 1 and 2. If you look at the rubric, you will see, girls, it is also giving you why and how you're going to mark your peers presentation. This is what we call peer assessment. Be respectful, no negative comments, try to be encouraging. Um, that is what we are going to do. Oh my goodness, this is 8 p.m. already. I did not expect. Okay. So, okay, girls, no more wasting time. Who's going to, yes, Latifa, even if I can't have another presenter, look at it, 8 o'clock already, we will have We will continue with this in our next class. Latifa, you're being the first presenter. Even if it is not perfect, don't worry about it, okay? You will
Okay, teacher, thank you so much.
go ahead.
Sorry, teacher, I won't say about your voice. I don't know why your voice is very, very slowly for me than others. But your voice is very slowly. I hear very difficult.
Okay,
I don't know what
don't
is the
worry
problem.
about it. Present your planning, please. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hello, dear friends. Welcome to my podcast plan. I'm Latifa, a student of class Australian Virtual School Semester 2. And my podcast plan is article is how to handle the stress of immigration. I choose because this article is very important and is very amazing for everyone. And audience in this podcast, youth and young adult, 18 to 35 years old. This group has the most experience of immigration for education, work, or asylum. They are more likely to experience cultural, language, and job stress. And each section will be explained in 1 to 2 minutes. All sections are scheduled with additional explanation of 4 to 6 minutes. And background music, soft piano around sound and video in the first attract the listeners attention and create resolutions. And I make it four section this podcast and what in one section what's the immigration, and two section is what is the stress, and three section is about the stress during of immigration, and four section is how handle the stress of immigration, and the five section I said about the expressing my experience about the immigration. I have chosen an interesting and uh, meaningful topic. Each episode has a specific goal or message. This episode are related to each other. Checked spelling, punctuation, and grammar. And section one, what's the immigration? A brief and useful explanation is given about immigration, types of immigration, and reasons for immigrations. And the section two is what is the stress? Information about the stress is provided. And the section three is I said about the what is the stress, immigration stress. Does the body explained from a physiological perspective. And section four is about the how to deal with immigration stress. Physiological solutions are outlined. And the section five, I have shared my personal experiences during my 5 years of immigration. And sources, I use different ways in my source, because I read Persian articles, and after that I change to English, and I use a mix of websites, books, and magazines. And this is the sample of the websites that I use the article. And I use AI too. The goal of this my podcast is about raising awareness to help migrants understand what immigration stress is, why it's happened, and how it affects their mind and body, and encouraging hope and motivation to inspire immigration to stay strong and positive. And the three goal is sharing real life experiences to tell real stories and experience from migrants, so others can learn from them and feel supported. And the last one, to share simple and practical techniques to manage stress and emotions as physiological support to remind migrants that they are not alone. Many others have gone through similar challenges. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Latifa. Latifa, can you hear my voice? Can you hear my
Yes,
voice
teacher,
now?
yes.
Oh,
I
that's
hear
good.
yours, but it's a little slow.
Before. Okay, thank you. What a brilliant presentation. You know, the first person who presents is the hardest thing to do, and you did it so well. First of all, you presented using a PowerPoint. Your slides were very interesting. You didn't clutter your each slide with a lot of information. You used it very you planned your each of your slide carefully so that it conveyed all the information that you plan to communicate, and you did it very well. And but before I talk about the each criteria, I would like all students who are present here, 22 students, I can see 21 students who are present in this class. I would like you all to give some feedback to to Latifa, please. And because we are not going to do another presentation this evening, the reason we won't do, because we are already ahead of, we were supposed to close this class at 8 o'clock, and it's 11 minutes ahead, because I have other meetings as well after this class. Therefore, girls, we have to close it in another 15 or 20 minutes. And in this time, during this time, I would like to discuss our criteria, what she touched upon very well, and what could have been a bit better. Okay, going back to the topic, I think, Roya, you have chosen a very, very relevant topic
Uh,
that is
Thank
going
you
to
so much,
be.
teacher, from your feedback. But I was not happy today because today my landlord told me to leave the house, and I'm very upset. I don't know how to express
I
this podcast. Uh,
I
I'm so
totally
sorry.
understand.
I know I have some problem.
I totally understand you're going through the most challenging time right now. And in spite of that, you have presented so confidently. I would give five out of you get out of five for choosing this very relevant topic that you are experiencing right now, the stress, and you want to give strategies to your listeners how to cope with that stress. You just, girls, I would like you also give some feedback to Roya, like Shirin girl has written, that was wonderful, and so um, it is jumping. That is Eliha said that's so interesting. Shringal said that was wonderful, so interesting. And Ilaha has said, way to go, Roya. I love the way you explained everything. And enthusiastically, your introduction was really fascinating and strong, beautifully written, Ilaha. I totally agree with you. As I listened to you, I was excited about the topic, as most of our us are struggling with immigration. Okay, I totally agree. One point I suggest is you to share short stories. That's exactly what Roya has said in her presentation. She's going to share real life stories, and I cannot say, yes, Adika, I'm going to give you the microphone in a second. And I'm so happy to see this, Shreya, Roya. I'm so happy to see your presentation. You are, you have done an amazing, amazing, uh, yes, Latifa. Sorry, Latifa, you have done an amazing presentation. So Ilaha says 5 score for you, Latifa Jan. That's so true. Feshta Aryan said, uh, okay, Freshta, I'm going to ask Sadika to say it in Dari so that you understand. Over to you, Miss Nazari. Microphone is all yours, Miss Nazari. Oh, oh, she had to leave the room. Okay, she's coming. I've said that you speak. Tamana Hashimi, while we are waiting for Sadika to take the microphone, I'm saying Tamana has written excellent. Your pronunciation is very clear, and she gives you 5 points. Now, 5 points is for the topic. What about the others? Okay, I like the way she has written. She talked about the research. um, I would say, uh, okay, I would say the research, um, uh, Latifa, it is psychological, okay, not physiological. It is psychological. Try to pronunciate the word correctly. Now, Sadika, the microphone is yours.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know. Right now, it shows I'm joining from two users, but I just joined from one user. Suddenly, I just disconnected. So I just would like to share my feedback about Roya's podcast plan.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she had a very good plan. So her topic is very relevant about the if we compare with the audience who are listening to her presentation, because as I realized, most of these girls are living in like exile, and they already experiencing this stress and migration, everything that she explained. And also she uh, just break up the topic in different small topics, which she explained. So I really excited to hear about how she managed the stress that she experiencing right now. Or so what is the her experience, and all this she will discuss hopefully in the future as she planned. And also um, the good thing she told us, she will have a good soft piano. So I am also really excited to hear that how it would be. So I'm sure it would be very beneficial and will touch our heart. So, and also just she explained about the source that she is using, that how to develop her content. She told that she will use she used already about from different English articles and also AI. So if she use different articles, so maybe she explained the or mention the exact website or the writer of that articles, it would be, I think, good. So otherwise, she explained very beautifully. As we all know that the person who began to start the presentation, it's a little bit stressful. So, but she started, and I really happy to hear voice with full of energy. Yeah, thank you so much.
What a
Wish her
one
all the best.
what a wonderful feedback you have given, Sadika. That was brilliant. And all these little points that you made that will make this podcast even better. You mentioned about the research. As I said, and I continue saying the same thing again and again, research is very, very important. And she said that she is also reading journal articles in her language. That is fantastic. There is no harm in this. It is not that you have to read in English. You can read in your language, but at the same time, make sure that it is a reliable source. So, if it is a medical journal, if you're talking about stress, strategies, how to cope with stress, if you're referring to a medical journal, that is brilliant. So you can say this particular medical journal said these are the strategies that is going to be beneficial when you are experiencing stress. So, Latifa, you have done a fantastic job, and you have written that you're going to use AI as well. Yes, of course you will use AI, but as we discussed before, please keep in mind, if you're doing using AI for research purposes, AI often make mistakes. So make sure you check other sources and make sure your information is accurate. Okay, that is the only way we can make sure it is reliable. If you are checking other sources, that's I'm suggesting this to every student. Please make sure check and check. Okay, because AI often makes mistakes. Even when people use AI for translation, I would say check, please. Miss Nazari, I have a request. There's a particular student here who thinks this is a bit advanced for her. Can you please translate and say it in your language so that she understands the expectation? And we are going to wrap up soon. And this was a brilliant example for everyone, Latifa's presentation. And I'll give you a thorough feedback, Latifa. But over to you, Miss Nazari. Please translate in English, in your language, so that all friends here understand the expectation. Ask them how to follow the rubric and prepare their presentation. Brilliant work,
اوکی مم.
Latifa. Thank you.
دخترها استاد از ما خواستن که گفتهایشان را به شکل خلاصه بر شما ترجمه کنم. البته کسایی که نتانستن که موضوع را بگیرن، کسایی که تانستن، خب بسیار گپ خوب. استاد یک موضوع بسیار زیاد مهم را که اینجا برای لطیفه گفته کی است که سورس هایی که شما استفاده میکنین اینا را گفتن که خوب است که شما یادآوری کردین از کدام سورس ها و منابع به خاطر جمع آوری معلومات یا تحقیق خود استفاده میکنین. ولی چیزی که بسیار مهم است از AI که شما استفاده میکنین، گفتن که یعنی بارها نشان داده شده که از AI که شما وقتی معلومات میگیرین یا اونجا تحقیق خود روی از انجام میتین، همیشه معلومات درست نمی باشه در AI. بنان شما اطمینان حاصل کنین که از چندین سورس ها یا منابع وقتی که محتوای خود شما جمع آوری میکنین یا تحقیق انجام میتین، مطمئن شوین که از مختلف منابع ها شما معلومات جمع بکنین تا معلومات درست باشه و از سایت هایی که شما استفاده میکنین هم او سایت های درست باشه و سایت های باشه که یعنی معلومات که بیرون میته معلوماتشان حداقل معتبر باشه. و دیگه ای که در مورد پستکارد از شما هم چی کردن پرسان کردن که شما چه رقم میخواین که پودکاست خود پلان بکنین و دیگه که لطیفه را گفتن که اینا یک پرزنتر خوب بودن که در شروع یک پرزنت خیلی خوب را اینا ارائه کردن با اینکه نفر اول بودن. خب نفر اول طبیعی است که مشکلات های خود می داشته باشه ولی دیگه نفرها بعد از باز تجربه کسب میکنه. Thank you.
Sadika, Freshta Arian has said that it is a bit too advanced for her. Can we allow her to present her podcast preparation planning in her language, and then maybe we can help her to translate certain things in basic English? What do you suggest? Can she do it in her language? Can you please ask Freshta that if she will be willing to do her presentation in Dari or Pashtun, I don't know what language will be best, and then we can
Okay.
help her to translate.
اوکی من شور. فرشته آریان شما گفتین که پرزنتیشن خودم میخواین که ارائه بکنین به زبان خودتان. زبان شما پشتوز یا دری است، میخواین پرزنت کنین پلان خود امروز؟
سلام به شما به همه. نه من بر استاد گفتم که نیستن برای ما اینه سویش بلندتر هستم. من گفتم اگه استاد بگویم که کدام صنف دیگه داشته باشیم ما جان شویم، چون شما به فکر مدت زیاد میشه که در اینجا هستین، در این صنف هستین. من صرف از استاد خواهش کردم که اگه صنف دارن ما در دیگه صنفاشان جان شویم که انگلیسی ابتدایی باشه.
Okay. Ma'am, Prishta saying that she just requested that this our English level is higher. She couldn't understand, so she just requested that if do you have any basic level that I could attend the class and improve my English. So she told that I'm not that much English knowledge to participate.
So, a solution would be do we have any other students who's having same problem? Can you please ask in your language? If there are more students who have the same problem, then we are going to run a special class where they're going to help. You have to help to run the class, and we can help them. So our first question is there any other student in this class who's having difficulties understanding or following the class, what we are doing in this lesson?
دخترها کسایی که امروز هستیم 23 نفر هستیم توتال به غیر فرشته آریان دیگه کس هم عین مشکل داره که هنوزم این لیوله که فعلا ما پیش میریم به می شکل که پیش میریم سویش بر از او سنگینی میکنه بلندی میکنه و درخواست صنف چی را داره بیسیک داره. شکریه عبدالحسن she raised her hand.
Okay, so we have to make a list.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Shukriya.
Yes. Go ahead, Shukriya.
Ma'am, I have no problem with this class, but a little bit in podcast, I have problem. I cannot understand how to manage how to write a podcast, so it's a bit difficult for me. That's why I want also to join an easy or basic class. Thank you.
Malika, take the microphone.
Yes. Hello, teacher and classmates. I also don't know presentation. This Yes,
Say it
podcast.
in your
Presentation.
language. Say it in your language.
Presentations. Because my English is not good. I don't know some words.
So thank you, Malika. Nazifa, what do you have to say? Come on, Nazifa.
سلام. باستاد بگم که چه سما این شماره زکی احمدی را بشه اون که اونا ثبت نام کرده اونم در اون صنف دیگه اگر دارن که لیولش از پایین تر باشه پیام هم داده بودم که امو را حد کنن فرم پر کردم با
خب
فقط
در
هم که
مورد
گفتن
خودتان چطور؟ خودتانو بگوین.
نه من خوب اصلا لیول قبلی همینجا بودم فعلا بهتر.
اوکی.
دیدی جان
مم
براشم که چندین شاگرد نمی قسم هست که برمام شخصی مسیج کرده که کدام صنف دیگه اگه استاد داشته باشه مرا در نمو عد کنه.
Okay, sure. Ma'am, Nazifa Hisori said that I shared a number with Ma'am Paramita. So that number is belong to one of the student who would like to attend the class, but her English is not good. She would like to join the basic class if we have. And also Tamanna said that so many students text me and they requested to make a separate class like basic English class. So
Okay.
they would like to join that class because their English is not well.
Okay, first question is, could you please make sure that these girls in our WhatsApp group, Shirangul, Shirangul, could you please share what you would like to talk about? And we are going to start another class. So Thursday, first we will have the advanced class, come and join it. And then after the advanced class, we will have a beginner's class. Shiringal, please share your
شیرین
thoughts.
گل بفرمایید شما چی میخواستین بگوین؟
Hello teacher, how are you? From in يعني این صنف رو من سخت نکنم. من یعنی انگلیسی را یاد دارم اما خیلی کم است دیگه متاسف یاد دارم. سپیکینگم خوب نیست.